Well folks, we once again, thanks to Kaz's Twitter, have of course, as expected, our silhouettes for the next update, the September update coming next week for Gran Turismo 7. This time it will ruffle some feathers, I think, but funnily enough, it actually ties really weirdly into the video that I made yesterday, which is this one, about vehicles which I think will get premium updates from their past non-premium state. I, spoiler alert, talked at quite some length in that video about Civics that were missing from the game, and now we have two Civics coming in one update, and of course we'll get to that in a second. If you haven't checked out that video, you definitely should, of course, and I did a video about existing premiums, which I also think have the best chance of coming back, so we'll have to see how many of those predictions come true. For now though, we have these three cars, and it's looking to be an interesting mix. It's only three to work with, which is nothing new for Gran Turismo 7, and one of these is kind of a big deal because as far back as Gran Turismo Sport, I said about this car coming to the game because it's the Time Attack Civic. It is finally arriving in Gran Turismo a whole game later, which I guess we shouldn't really be surprised by. It is, of course, the Garage RCR engine-swapped Civic. Technically the first Civic of its shape in the game. I know a lot of people would have preferred the normal road-going version and then, do your own upgrades, but if one thing is sure, it will be quick and potentially quite useful compared to a lot of these other pre-built speciality cars. I certainly think it will be a strong track day car. The second one, we also have another Civic. This one, as a slight teaser, has actually given some more credence to a theory which I developed yesterday. And I'm not going to tell you what this theory is just yet, but there's another list video coming to the channel very soon about Gran Turismo 7, which you're definitely going to want to watch, because I'm sure it's something that people have talked about before, but it is definitely worth a look if you are in the business of knowing what cars could be coming to the game. This one is the newest shape FL5 Civic Type R. Another pretty obvious choice. Of course, I didn't include that in my predictions videos because it's not a car that would have been coming back, but of course, for a debut, it makes a whole ton of sense. And it also continues the very interesting trajectory that Gran Turismo is definitely moving toward now more than ever, of having surprisingly recent cars added to the game, which is weird because they never used to do that. I guess that's a good thing, technically. Then we have, of course, the third and final, which we already know, the TCR-styled Group 4 Mazda 3 race car. I talked about this, of course, in a separate video on the channel, this particular video that I'll just flash up the thumbnail of for reference. So it's an interesting trio. Of course, we don't know yet if there will be a circuit. We'll get a trailer, possibly tomorrow. I would have expected tomorrow. So if there is one, of course, I will be covering it on the channel. But I'm hoping, of course, both fingers crossed, and toes, you may as well, that we'll get a circuit as well. We are due to have at least 2 or 3 circuits that we know of. So we'll have to wait and see. I would think, again, that a circuit would certainly bolster having 2 Civics and a Mazda hatchback, for those who aren't into that, which I think there will be probably more than a few vocal people who aren't too happy about these, for all the people that are. So, fingers crossed, like I said, for a circuit. We'll have to wait and see, though. And of course, like I said, check out those other 2 videos, and they're very big videos with tons of cars in them on the channel. But of course, until next time, I'll see you with more news, maybe even tomorrow with the trailer. And until then, I'll see you next time. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.